Welcome everyone to the Office of Business Diversity and Compliance and Entrepreneurs webinar series. I am Taylor Tagg, Senior Business Services Coordinator with OBDC, and we're glad to have you with us today and the City of Memphis IT Division we kind of let you know of more opportunities to work with the City of Memphis IT Division. Of course, if you have any needs, business needs, business certification and entrepreneurial assistance, feel free to contact us at OBDC at 901-636-9300 or send us an email at bdcinfo@memphistn.gov. And we're glad to have Chief Kimberly Bailey with us and her staff from the IT division as they're going to explain to you how you can do business with IT. And again, if there's any questions that come up during this presentation, feel free to type them in the Q&A section down below or in the chat, and we'll get to them at the end of this presentation. So Chief Bailey, good morning. Thanks for being with us. And the whole staff, glad to be with you. It's all yours. Go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. Thank you for hosting this amazing workshop. We definitely want to continue to have great business relationships and partnerships with all of our City of Memphis businesses, whether they are a small business or a very large entity. And this is just our way of saying, you know, how it makes sense to do business with the IT division. We want to, you know, continue to grow our minority participation. And this is an opportunity for you all to ask questions and understand exactly some of the requirements that we have in place in order to successfully do what we do for the City of Memphis. We have an amazing group of people that will be speaking to you on today, but we will be led by our interim finance manager, Kelli Werkmeister, who is in charge of all the money relations in these IT division and contracts and vendor relations. So she will guide you through this workshop. I will be on in case you have some questions at the end. But thank you so much. And now we're in your hands, Kelli.
Thank you, Chief Bailey. I'm Kelli Werkmeister, the Information Technology Finance Manager. I have procurement and finance are under my purview. Alfreda Owens, who is also on, is my procurement lead. So if you have a procurement need and can't reach me, please reach out to her. The key to doing business with information technology is number one, being a registered vendor with the City of Memphis is important. Also, keep watch on the city website under RFPs and RFQs, as that's where we post our information when we have a need. ITD receives a quote request ticket from all the divisions in the city for software, hardware, cabling, AV, and all sorts of things that are IT related. We review the request to determine if they are, number one, under $5,000. If we can, and under $5,000, we can send those out to any vendors, that are registered with the city under certain commodity codes, if it's an item that's not already on our quarterly price list. The quarterly price list is a list of common items, hardware and software, that meet our city standards that we open annually to solicit new vendors to participate. And what that does is we put contracts in place with anyone that's in the vendor pool, and we can reach out for quick pricing from those vendors quarterly, and it saves time in putting contract in place or a purchase order every time we need something. Number two, items that are $5,000 to $49,999 will have an RFQ posted to the city website, which is where you'll see it. These requests go to the OBDC Goaling Committee, and they are designated either as an SBE, which is a small business enterprise, an MWBE, which they'll assign a percentage of participation required, a single or sole source procurement. Single means that we've invested in a certain solution and want to keep the vendor that we have in place, or a sole source is a vendor that can provide only a specific piece of equipment or software. And the last way that we can put the bid out is to open competition. These items have shorter response time. They're generally out for 2 weeks for you to respond to versus an over $50,000 effort, which we call a formal RFP or RFQ. These are also posted on the city website as well, as well as advertised in local publications, newspapers and such. They will have an OBDC assigned goal. And as I mentioned above, they will have a 30-day response time. So be sure to read everything you see posted on that website and follow the submission guidelines closely. We currently have the following RFPs and RFQs posted. Bids are due for the low voltage and inside fiber optic e-cabling RFQ on 3/3. And then for the technology service desk and or desktop support RFP due on 3/10, responses are due. The data center co-location facility RFP should be posted today. I don't know what the due date is on that one yet. We also have coming up the security penetration testing RFP and the outside fiber optic RFP. So with that, I will introduce our IT operations manager, Steve, and I look forward to your questions at the end. Thank you. Steve?
Hi, my name is Steve Crossway. I am the Senior Operations Manager for the City of Memphis IT Department. I'm over the data center, networking, telecom, and service delivery departments. For data center, we tend to standardize our equipment on Dell as far as compute and storage goes, and we've been happy with them, with their products and services. Our purchasing in that area, it tends to be fewer purchases, but they tend to be a little bit larger, so they almost always get bid out and or go out to RFP depending on those processes. But beyond that, for data center, it's all Dell basically. That's our vendor of choice, and we work with them a lot. For networking, I'm going to let Mickey.Alderson speak to networking, and Mickey is our network architect.
Okay, thanks, Steve. From the network perspective, we manage from network switching and routing, wireless access points, low voltage cabling, fiber optic cabling, pretty much anything that allows the computers along the city network to communicate with each other and out to the internet. The base level of it from a physical perspective on the cabling side, we've pretty much standardized on Panduit termination hardware, Belden Mohawk cabling. That's both for low voltage, category 6 cabling, even to the fiber optic cabling, both inside buildings and outside, to connect close to 200 city facilities together. From a wired switching perspective, we have standardized on Extreme Networks as our vendor of choice. We've been working with Extreme for over 15 years, so we're pretty comfortable with their product line. From a wireless perspective, we use Aruba Networks, which is an HP company. Again, we've been with them for over 10 years, pretty happy with their functionality. So it's kind of a base overview of what we use, so we can kind of standardize across the enterprise. We do work a little bit with security. So in that vein, I will hand over to Augustine Boateng, who is our senior security manager. Augustine?
Yes. Thank you, Mickey, for that. Appreciate that. So my name is Augustine. I'm the information security manager for the city of Memphis. So basically over everything security, and my domain kind of interface with all the departments. So I'm mostly involved in some of the decisions when it comes to purchasing, software devices for other departments. So some of our stuff that we purchase or we buy are kind of vendor specific because we require certain, solutions for what we do, right? So, like we use our firewalls that we use are all Palo Altos. So when we have to purchase new firewalls, we have to get Palo Altos. And mostly they are really expensive. So we put out an RFP put an RFQ, right, for the quotes, and the ones that come in as favorable, that's the ones we go with. We do annual penetration testing, and that is open for any vendor locally or who can provide that service, right? So we put out our specifics, what we want, our requirements, and then we get the bid that we get and the requirements that meets what we want is the one that we go with, and which have favorable pricing also. We also do endpoint security, and we also standardized on CrowdStrike. That is our endpoint security solution for the entire city of Memphis. And we do renewals every year because we have to, because we really rely on that. And we of course work on email protection, and that is basically Microsoft email environments that we use, and also renewals every year. And also, and I think, yeah, so those are kind of the basic solutions that we use, right? And we really invite anybody who has the capacity to bid on those solutions to, put in it. We will review everyone that comes in, and then we will give it to who needs or who meets that criteria, right? So I will wait for any questions after this presentation. Just let me know. And with that, I will hand it over to Allie, who is our implementations manager.
Thank you, Augustine. My name is Allie Harrison. I'm the implementations manager for the city of Memphis. The areas that we have are the application development areas in the project management office. The application development area, we provide the enterprise systems that are the backbone, application backbones for the city. We also have websites that we provide that are for communication both within the city and public facing, as well as GIS software for mapping and information dissemination. Some of the technologies that we have are mainly Oracle. We have some Microsoft SQL Server, as well as GIS software, and for the websites using mainly WordPress and those types of hosting services to provide that. Very similar to what you've heard up to this point. These systems are very large and they're quite complex. So there are RFQs when the time comes to be able to upgrade and support those. And again, because of their complexity, we have many moving parts. And with that, I would like to hand that off to Binish Gopal, who can talk a little bit more about the different areas and more specifically what it takes to support and to interact with those and the teams. He is our application manager, and I'd like to turn that over to you, Binish.
Thank you, Ali. Hello, everyone. I'm Binish Gopal. I'm the Enterprise Applications Manager. So, like Ali covered, much of what we actually do. We support basically the enterprise applications, different software that city and the citizens use. We build websites and custom applications for these groups. We create dashboards, reports, or anything analytics. We do that. We also, another major thing is, whenever any division need any specific software for their use, like, police needs something to do their duty, we help identifying the right software, the right solution to meet their needs. That's part of what we do as well. Like Ali mentioned earlier, some of the major technologies that we use, the main technology stacks are Microsoft technology stack, Oracle, GIS, which is based on ESRI, ServiceNow. We have a little bit of Google as well. These are the main technology stacks. So most of our projects usually are around these technology stacks. And in those technology stacks, we also use a lot of different software and a lot of different databases like Oracle database, SQL Server database, MySQL database, Java, HTML, .NET, you name most of the main languages in computer area, we use that. And our projects, like many of us mentioned earlier, usually they go through RFPs or RFQs, and the main way a local agency or a company can help is by having skills on implementing software. So when we have to do an implementation of a new Microsoft product or a Oracle product, we usually publish this as an RFP or RFQ. And if you have the skill set to implement that for us, that you can bid against that. I will wait for any questions at the end as well. Thank you.
Okay, Taylor, I think we're ready for the Q&A.
Okay, well, again, for all our participants and attendees, feel free to type in the Q&A section of the chat if you have questions for any of the team. I know that Steve responded to one question that was asked about cloud-based data center backup strategy. I don't know, Steve, if you want to address the attendees on that for a second or not.
Yeah, so currently our security team, and Augustine can correct me if I'm wrong, but our security team has not authorized us to do large-scale data storage in the cloud. So we do not have a cloud-based backup strategy, and we don't currently have that, but I believe it's in the works. I just don't know that we've flushed out the policies on data storage in the cloud yet.
You're on mute.
Sorry, yeah, that is true. So we currently in the evaluating phase of migrating data to the cloud, and also looking at all the costs involved, and getting, we work with a lot of critical and sensitive data, right? So we have to look at all the governmental requirements and the federal requirements for data storage in the cloud. So that is still in the works. We've not got to that level yet.
Okay.
We do have a few more minutes for questions. If again, you type them in the Q&A section or in the chat, they'll be happy to answer them.
I do see a hand raised, Taylor.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and ask folks to go ahead and type that question in the chat, just so we can stay secure with this meeting.
I do also want to add to all of the RFPs and RFQs that we put out, we also use various resources to staff the IT division. We work with several companies to help us get amazing talent. So if you are interested in that type of business as well, or have some type of staffing service, we're more than happy to discuss what you offer versus the types of positions that we look for, all levels of, and they're not all technical. It includes our IT finance division or department area, as well as our, project managers. And so we have various areas that we do outsource talent for. So if you are looking to see if your business would align with some of that and help us, to meet some of those needs, we're more than happy to have those discussions as well.
Okay, again, we're available for questions. Any other questions that you may have? As we kind of, conclude here in the next few minutes, any parting comments, any encouragement that we can give to our entrepreneurs about working with IT?
I would say just like you see all of these amazing people on the call, they are super talented. They're very knowledgeable in their areas, and I rely on them heavily. If you are trying to get your business going and you see that there is any alignment with these particular areas, we're happy to help you, figure out what that means and how you can work with us. We want to be, of course, inclusive, to diversify our, vendor relationships. And we just look forward to partnering with those who are in the city of Memphis. We want to continue to see that footprint, grow. We always speak about elevating IT. That's our hashtag for this division. And not only does that mean internally, it means the same externally as well. And so we want to make sure that if there is space for your business, that we are definitely allowing for you to partner with us. Certifications and things of that nature do matter. We have certain standards and specifics that we don't deviate from. It's very important that we align and keep that continuity throughout all of our facilities. So we just want you to be aware of that. So if you're looking to do business with us in the future and you may not be ready right now, this is a good time to understand, especially some of the things that Mickey shared from a networking perspective, the types of cabling we use, the certifications involved. And even if you're not in a position to do business now, it's good to take a look at the RFPs and RFQs that we have out there. You'll be able to see what those requirements are and start getting your business in alignment to do things in the future. These are things that we'll always need. Networking will always need hardware. When you hear Steve talk about Dell equipment, if you align your business as a partnership in that aspect, of course, you'll know that we are a Dell shop for a lot of things in our data center. We're also open for other, opportunities and avenues. If you have a great product or pitch that you think would be an add to our business, we're happy to hear that. And, just to see what we could do. And if we can't utilize your business, we will definitely, give you some recommendations and just try to help you along. So we want to be a partner, not only within the city of Memphis, the organization, but within our residents so that we can make sure that your businesses thrive as much as possible.
I do have a couple of questions that have come up in the meantime. This first question is, how can vendors best engage in innovation conversations and vision setting, that being cloud security, AI/ML, et cetera?
Okay, so we have, if you go out to the City of Memphis website and find the IT link, we have our strategic plan out there. So if you see something that aligns, you can also see our year in review. We will be doing that each year that we successfully complete a lot of things that are happening. You can take a look at what we've done. You can take a look at what our vision is. And if you have a product or an idea or a concept that aligns, we're happy to set up some time to discuss. Now, let me be very honest and transparent. We cannot do everything. We are an operation right now that is working on over 30 or 40 projects currently in some phase of the project management lifecycle, in addition to the biggest project that we've taken on, COVID-19. COVID-19 now is another project for us that is in execution with no close date right now. So in the midst of all of that we're currently doing, we do allow some time to explore our innovative side. If you take a look at the picture that was posted with this event, we do have a three-pronged focus. That is our implementations, our infrastructure, and innovation. We're spending a lot of time on innovation in the back end. But currently our infrastructure and our implementations have our primary focus. So if you take a look at the strategic plan and you have a great idea or some product that you think would align, we're happy to have that discussion, but we will be very transparent with you on whether or not we can proceed with any types of purchasing or whatever that engagement is currently based on what we have going on.
And I think we do have a follow-up question to that as well, about how people can potentially meet with you to go over their capabilities to see if they're a fit with IT?
Okay, based on the area, I have very amazing managers, and they are the experts in their field. I am I guess, the navigator of the ship, but they run their areas with excellency. So if you want to meet with them, please contact, our office. You can give us a call at 636-629, and our amazing staff will set up some time with you and one of the managers over the specific area that you're interested in. And that will be the best way. They're very targeted in their focus. They're very in tune to their areas. And they will be more than happy to share with you and listen to you about what you may offer for us to continue to do amazing things for the city.
Excellent. I think Kelly shared that number, 636-6229 to contact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, thank you, Chief Bailey, and everybody on the team here for describing how people can work with the city IT division. I think it's a very important opportunity, and I think everybody can take advantage of that as well. And so again, we'd like to thank everybody for being here. Again, you can catch the replay of this webinar on our OBDC Facebook page at OBDC Memphis and our YouTube channel as well. If you want to pass this information on to anyone to take a look at this, feel free to do so. Again, thank you, Chief Bailey, and everyone on the team for joining us. And again, we'll catch you pretty soon for our next Entrepreneurs webinar series. Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thanks, team.
Thank you.